Hi, this is Juliet Loves Beginning with a blog post called Sweeping Away Old Belief. But I think before I start, I just want to relate a conversation I had with my friends, with the non-physical beings who help me out here, about I questioned doing this blog quite a bit lately because I ask, what am I trying to assert an identity, or wouldn't it be ridiculous to try to tell others what to do, or to explain how it is? And even in this post today, that gets addressed, that our job is just to be happy. It's not to explain the world to others, because really there are no others. But I guess it's still serving a function, because all the explanations are just to get me to stay still, just to get me to put my faith in this stillness and in happiness. And it's not there yet. I'm kind of all over the place still, perceptually. I'm going out on those tree limbs, still finding where those beliefs are active and surrendering those beliefs. So while that process seems to be ongoing, and I have to ask, well, isn't that just me delaying things? Can't this all be done right now? It's like patience. It all happens with perfect timing. So that I'm shown this picture again of this big drill, just drilling down to this structure of thought and belief. And for me, the effect experienced when I do that is to disturb the old, to let it come up to the surface, and then to let it be released, and to let the space that seemed to occupy that now be occupied just with a very simple, very joyful awareness of what we are. And if I'm able to do that in a format that can be shared, it's true, they tell me, you aren't sharing with anybody else. That is part of the fantasy, that there is a somebody else, or that other somebody else would need to be healed, or would need to it's much more important, I'm told, to focus on what you perceive as to be yourself, to stay in your own business, and to allow that healing. But if, as a facet of my healing, it's easily shareable, that drilling down into what is still there, then why not? So I ask about that a lot, because I get confused about the self and other thing. But if it works, if it helps, go ahead. And so that is what I am doing. So here's today's post: Sweeping Away Old Belief. When you believe you are of this world, you ask the ego to tell you how you feel and why. Ego sends reactive thoughts about events, and then you believe you are all of those different and varying states. You believe you are jealous. You believe you are bereft. We invite you to reach to what you truly are. Reach beyond what egoic thought claims you are. It is very helpful to know what you are feeling. I feel tension. I feel a sense of threat. Feeling lets you know what you are believing. If anything feels off, it is because of a habitual reliance on egoic thought. When you discover where egoic thought is active, call upon us. We're here to help you undo the reliance. We help by reminding you what has been shining behind egoic thought for all of time. When you can see this, when you can feel the resonance of it, it is easy to let go. What you are is stillness itself. What you are has been shining behind egoic thought for all of time. What you are was never born and can never die. There is nothing more solid and stable to rely upon. If this is true of you, it is true of all. A request to see through a flawed perception of a character, of an event, is so very powerful, because all are this unending light. Whenever you ask to see someone or something differently, You are changing the trajectory of the story from strife to peace. You are in charge because of what you ask to see. You can choose to continue to see elements of the story as separate and in conflict with each other, or you can know deeply that peace is shining behind every aspect of the story. Ask to see the peace. Ask that the peace be revealed to you, and you will see. Imagine a character in the story with many, many guns. This character believes the guns are necessary for protection. It is time to thank this character because she has only been reflecting back at you a defensiveness that you never needed. Defensiveness is dependence on egoic thought. When you thank the character for her perfect role in helping you awaken, her work in showing you is done. Everyone is here to show you something, and when you see it, you can ask for assistance in the thought transformation that allows you to see the perfection of everything. When you struggle to convince another character that she doesn't need her guns, you completely ignore the defensiveness to which you still cling. You will be much happier and much more helpful if you can stop and ask for assistance in dropping the defensiveness. Your job regarding any character is to find the gratitude. Find the gratitude for what they are reflecting back. Find the gratitude for what they are and always have been. Do this without exception. This is how to be most helpful in the world. You help yourself first. You ask for and accept healing. Showing up in a world built on an idea of perpetual motion, a world that never stops spinning, a world that demands a struggle for survival, it is very easy to get distracted away from the stillness that you are. We invite you to return to the awareness of this stillness, to stay there, to realize it as the essential nature of all of the beings playing characters in this fantasy land. This is how you play your perfect part in bringing the dream to a soft and joyful conclusion. When you return perceptually to the stillness that you are, there is joy there, regardless of ego's commentary upon events and conditions. When the stillness that you are is larger in your awareness than any event or condition, when the stillness that all others are is larger in your awareness than any analysis of their actions or speech, you invite. You invite what is real to make itself known in your world. You invite what is real, love, peace, and eternal joy, to make itself known and to shine away all of the strife of the world. When you believe that ego's interpretation of events and conditions tells you whether you are suffering or not, there is a constant struggle to please the egoic identity in order to avoid suffering. Suffering is not real. It is an experience that you deliver unto yourself in an illusion. Ego will tell you that suffering is inevitable, and at the same time it will send you on many journeys to chase pleasure and to avoid pain. All the while, here you are, stillness itself, beyond all pleasure and pain. Take a look at pleasure. Pleasure is the phantom ego depends upon to keep you running in fear. You are running to this thing to avoid that thing. Seeing through all of that, you can stay here, in this moment. The ego would tell you that here and now is devoid of satisfying content. It is a wasteland, boring and destructive. The now is joyful, and it is destructive to learn dependence on egoic thought. Joy needs no content, it just is, and you can never lose it because it is who you are, who every character is. You have such good news to share. You do not share this good news through explaining the news to perceived others. You share the good news by abiding in its resonance, through your happiness. That's it. Your job is to be happy. Everyone's true job is the best job in the world. We stand ready to sweep away all thought that blocks your remembrance that your job is simple and joyful. You are worthy of simplicity and joy because that is what you are. All are worthy of simplicity and joy because it is and always has been the true nature of all. We thank you, we celebrate you, and we are always here for you. Thanks for listening.